All right, let's get this game started in 3, 2, 1, go. So welcome back everyone to the TL Open. This is the map, custom map edition, of course, sponsored by the Little App Factory, so big thanks to them again. We're jumping into Game 3 now in this best of 5 finals between Alive in the 3 o'clock position representing Team SCV-Life as our Blue Terran with that 2-0 advantage. Got to be feeling so confident right now against his opponent in the 7 o'clock position. Guineapig as our Red Protoss representing Most Valuable Player. He is in such a tough position right now. He's got to make some really hard decisions. If he makes one mistake, the series is over and he's going to get second place here. Certainly not what he wants to have happen, so he's got to just really bring out his A game if he wants to bring us to a Game 4, let alone a Game 5.
Right. And we can see that he's not doing that early scout here. He's going to drop a pylon and go back to mining, probably be mining after that first gateway. We can see that we've spawned here at 7 versus 3, so TSL.Alive, Blue Terran at the 3 o'clock, doing everything the same. We've seen him do this all day, dropping the first supply depot there, then completing the starts of a wall, and then transitioning into 10 different ways. But every one of them starts with the same tree trunk there before branching off. We can see a Guineapig going to be scouting in the wrong direction, going up to the top position. No one there. We can see from our lofty observer tower, or in Orb's case, his Game Boy color vision.
No color, man. Black and white.
No color vision. Okay.
I'm colorblind, remember?
Oh yes. And Refinery going down for TSL.Alive, so we'll keep an eye on that. His build is going to be the one that's going to dictate the early game here, I believe. I don't think we're going to see anything crazy out of Guineapig.
Yeah, I think the reason we saw him try to 3-gate Void Ray that game was exactly what we were talking about. We always see a live wall off, and that can be a risky move. If you end up with something like either some early warp gate pressure or 3-gate Void Ray, just putting some pressure onto those buildings, your supply depots, your barracks, etc., can be really hard to deal with. So I think that's maybe why Guineapig was trying to do that. But after getting it denied, after getting his building scouted out, I don't think he's going to want to try to do that again. He's probably going to go, as you said, for that standard game, and we will have to just wait and see. He does have quite a bit of chrono saved up right now, so maybe not the case. But with this gas up from off, oh, actually, he pulls off all workers but one on the gas, so maybe it's just going to be another reactor barracks expansion here with no additional tech afterwards until he takes that command center.
We can see a second assimilator here added for Guineapig, and in addition to that, he started with the Zealot, but look at this, Alive swooping in with that SCV. He's going to be able to see all of it. Let's see if he notices. He's actually attacking the Nexus, so maybe he'll be able to notice the chrono energy that's saved up there, as it's now pushing 3 chronos worth of energy. SCV gonna see that second assimilator, cybernetic square completing, gateway, stalker, no chrono on the stalker.
That's a pretty big deal to see that second gas in PvT, because you're not usually going to see like a fast expansion based play with 2 gas. Sometimes that happens. We see players fast expand, they just pump out quite a few sentries, or maybe go for some early DT tech after an expansion, something like that. But this most likely will let Alive know that Guineapig is looking to do some type of one base play here, at least to start. And thus we should see Alive play just maybe a little bit more safely. We do see his command center already on the way, but he put those SCVs right back on that gas. So I'm very curious, is he going to drop another barracks, drop that tech level like we saw the last time he did this build, or really just go ahead and rush to that factory? He does have 100 gas right now, so we could do it if he wants. It is another barracks for him for now. And with the Robo on the way from Guineapig, what type of build do you think this is going to be, like that 3 Immortal Bosch we've seen, or could it be some type of War Prism play?
I think it's looking like an Immortal, but we'll have to wait and see. He's now starting to use Chrono Boost on the Warp Gate, so Warp Gate technology coming out very quickly here, as all of the Chrono has been dropped on that thus far. Robo just about completing now at about 80%. Meanwhile, in the main base, very safe expansion from Alive. He's keeping that command center in line with his existing command center. No reason to risk it, as he hasn't scouted anything aggressive from Guineapig, and he has scouted that double gas. So now we can see coming out first is going to be an observer.
Interesting choice. Guess he wants to figure out exactly what his opponent's going for before he decides exactly what he's going to do, or wants to make sure, maybe if he's going to go in there with something like a War Prism, wants to make sure he can figure out what's in place before he actually goes in for the aggression. Looks like he's actually moving a probe down, so no, he's just going to take an expansion.
Very strange to me.
Yeah, a 2-gate Robo expand with double gas. It's just so overly safe. You can really start to see that Guineapig is kind of shaking in his boots here. He knows he's down 0-2, and I think he's just so paranoid about any type of possibility of, any type of build from Alive, since he was unable to see anything other than the fact that he had gas, that he wanted to make sure he'd have that Robo up, he could get the Observer, wouldn't have to deal with like Cloak Banshee, and he could see any type of attack like a one-on-one coming at him. But man, that is going to put him a little bit behind on that expansion timing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of value you can get out of scouting information, but to sacrifice this much brute force to just get that observer out so quickly, I don't know that it was worthwhile, but here we go. The observer going to be able to move into the main base, floating over this floating command center, so he's going to be able to see that the expansion is up well before his own expansion. And look at this, the SCV from Alive going to swoop in as well, going to be able to see Guinea-Pig's natural expansion going up. So Alive probably feels like he got as much scouting information as he needed, and he didn't have to sacrifice anything for it.
Yeah, he didn't even lose the SCV. He got it away from a stalker. How often does that happen? Like almost never. So if that's not perfect scouting, I don't know what is, man. We see 2 additional gateways going down from Guinea-Pig, but this transition just seems a little bit too, I want to say, vanilla for me, man. It's like, I'm just going to add in some more gateways and build a couple more units. It's just kind of all around just standard units. I would love to see him either, go for a double forge, go for like a fast Twilight with some early aggression with Blink, go for the early Colossi off 2 base. Something like that, because right now, I mean, just producing Immortals and Gateway units, I mean, granted, I don't want to say, it hasn't been working for him in the past games, as we had some really obscure situations happen there.
Right.
But I just want to see a little bit more creative play, a little bit more in-depth play here from Guinea-Pig, as opposed to just the standard Gateway units.
But in this series thus far, Guinea-Pig hasn't really made it to a mid-game. Yeah, he's got to the mid-game technically, but it was in a weird situation, as you said. Maybe he just feels if he gets to the mid-game, he's got as good a chance as any. And here we go, a lot of Marines pushing forward and a lot of sentries going to be able to isolate those units and snipe off a few. So thanks for coming out. All those Marines going to get chewed down, or less. Maybe one of them is going to get sniped out or get to run away, as there's not a lot of stalkers in this army, just sentries. Ghost Academy is on the way, actually completed for Alive. So if one juicy EMP, I'm just envisioning landing on all these sentries, that's going to be nighty-night for Guinea-Pig.
Yeah, this type of a build from him is really just kind of like hoping your opponent doesn't have Ghost, which is strange because you have the early Observer. You should be using that to scout so diligently for that Ghost Academy. That's like the #1 thing you want to watch for and avoid. Although look at that placement all the way at the top of his base, so of course Guinea-Pig has not scouted that out, but man, he's got everything stacked up right now. The Ghosts, I believe they're out. They don't have the energy yet though, so not actually able to throw on those EMPs, so this is great timing for Guinea-Pig to attack. He's got those 2 Immortals, so he can dump down these bunkers almost immediately. Salvage goes off actually on one of the bunkers, so great move there by Alive. He's still got a big army, and he's getting very close. He's got the energy. Well, actually, no, is that 65? I'm sorry, I'm on a low resolution right now. But he's dangerously close to the energy needed. And if he gets off 2 EMPs on that stacked up army from Guinea-Pig, that's just going to be GG right away.
Yeah, absolutely. By the next time the next phase of the attack came, if it did, Alive would absolutely have enough to be able to EMP that entire army down. Alive is going to push out, take out that pylon. Looks like Guinea-Pig was smart enough to realize he couldn't continue pressuring. Just wanted to put pressure, break that bunker, and then pull back. Let's see what the next phase of his plan is going to be. He's dropping that robotics base, so transitioning into Colossi, and he's got a nice stack of 2 forges here at his natural. Going to get those upgrades out very quickly to favor his gateway units. If the game gets that far, Alive is gearing up, looking very aggressive. Does he have... wow, he's just going like man style, just barracks units. Just testing the waters. He gets his hand slapped back by those force fields. He's got to be very careful with this push across these bridges.
This is absolutely fantastic usage of the map by Guinea-Pig. He's really just using these small choke points, but here come the Ghosts right now. He's spreading out those sentries. A great spread right now. Immortal sentries, everything split up. He gets some excellent force fields off. Will it be enough? The Zealots are doing an insane amount of damage to these units in the front. He's got his Immortals pumping out damage as well. Oh, one of the Ghosts dies with energy. Didn't actually throw down its EMP there, and that's a big disadvantage for Alive. Now Guinea-Pig just storming through this army, and he's got 1-1, 30 seconds from completion. This could actually be the start of a comeback in this series for Guinea-Pig.
And maybe this is a situation Guinea-Pig wanted to play overly safe, get into the mid game where you feel like you can take it down with just superior tactics if you feel like that. Now he's transitioning beautifully, +1/+1 as you mentioned, now completed. He's got the Colossi tech on the way. He's got extended thermal lance also on the way. Looks like no makings of a 3rd base yet. He's also got another observer out. Going to be using that to check what Alive is up to. Alive isn't out of this yet. He's really ramping up his production facilities and taking his tech to the next level, getting that factory finally up with the reactor that's going to allow him to get the Vikings or more so medevacs out to really augment his army here in the next battle. Let's take a look at how many units are out on the field. Does he have Ghosts? No Ghosts out. Is he producing them? No.
He's not. It scares me, man. We haven't even seen quad gas get thrown down yet from Alive. Granted, against Protoss, you usually don't need that much gas, but he's trying to get upgrades and double medevac production right now. I mean, if he wanted to also be able to produce Ghosts, he would need that 4th gas to be able to produce double Node Axe and upgrades and Ghosts at the same time. So it looks like he's just completely foregoing that for now, and that could end up being a big mistake. He's going to have a little more trouble dealing with those Immortals. Scan goes off, and I don't think he actually got to see the Colossus. God, I'm trying to check his vision. I don't think he actually saw that, so he might not know to start making Vikings right now. That could be a big problem for Alive. You know, sometimes we end up with the situation in TVP where the Protoss hits a timing with Colossi, and if you just don't have those Vikings ready in time, sometimes that can end up just being GG right there.
Right, and we can see the first 2 production rounds out of the starport made those medevacs, and now 2 more medevacs are on the way. We've got Guineapig getting aggressive here with his first 2 Colossi. Does he have an extended thermal lance? Yes, it is complete. Got a bit of a drop going into the main base. Looks like Guineapig will not be ready to deal with this. I want to see if he'll push to try to go for a base race or if he'll come back. Oh, he is coming back. Whoa, no.
Oh,
you see that?
no.
There was like 6 clicks. Attack, run away, attack, run away, attack, run away. And now he's decided to come back. He's going to give up so much by running all the way back to his main base.
Yeah, that is just really, really tough for him because, I mean, it's essentially like, well, you're running your entire army back. You're not even going to hit the attack timing that you could have hit right there. And on top of it, you're still going to take the same amount of damage. I mean, his Stalkers really did the defense there. Made those medevacs leave. The rest of his army didn't really accomplish anything. So, really, really unfortunate they didn't just decide to go for the attack there. I think with the 1-1 upgrades, with the charge, could have worked well. But at the same time, I don't think it puts him that far behind. He does have a third on the way and 2-2 about to complete. So that will give him a really big advantage just continuing on, whereas Alive just has 1-1 now started. So he's just going to be at 1-0 against 2-2 Protoss units with Colossi, and he's only got 2 Vikings so far with 2 more on the way. So Guineapig, I think he still has quite a big timing window available to him where you can attack and just have just such a big advantage, especially without those Ghosts. Actually, we do have a couple Ghosts here from Alive. Looks like just 2. So if you can keep a Guardian Shield up on those sentries, or you can keep them spread out, you'll still have a big advantage in this engagement. But EMP could change all that.
Taking a look at the U count, only 2 Vikings out thus far for Alive as well. Alive is looking forward to the late game, taking that 3rd base. He's building the command center. Looks like he's planning to take this kind of inside pocket expansion as opposed to the 530, which I think is better for Terran. Meanwhile, Guineapig doing the opposite, trying to skirt around the edges, take the edge expansions first, and that I think that is a smart play for a Protoss player. Guineapig has now transitioned into High Templar as well, and that's really going to help out. I believe he's completed Charge as well. Yes, he has, and he's continuing to just chrono out those 2-2 upgrades, so going to be so strong. Oh, excuse me, he's actually got 2-2. Oh,
I know,
God.
right? Yeah, that's scary for a Terran. When 1-1's not even done and 3-3 is already almost halfway done. Ooh, that is going to be so scary for Alive, especially with the Archons that are starting to be mixed in, since he does have that Templar tech. Alive really doesn't have that many Ghosts, and when you're dealing with Archons, it's essentially like, well, am I going to throw all my EMPs onto the Archons to get rid of their HP? Then I don't have them available for the sentries. You have a bit of a trade-off unless you have quite a few Ghosts available. So with his low Ghost count, he's going to have a really tough time dealing with this, and since he hasn't really had the gas he's needed, well, he actually has plenty right now, just hasn't really had the economy he's needed. He's just getting his 3rd up right now. Alive is just going to start falling a little bit further behind, a little bit quicker here. He has done a great job staying up on food, or staying even on food rather, but once 3-3 finishes and Guineapig attacks with this full 3-base economy, things are going to start going downhill.
I mean, fighting against 3-3 when you haven't done any economic damage to a Protoss in TVP all game is just hard enough as it is. Guineapig has so many options now. He's got the Colossi tech, the Archons out, and he's got the option to transition into High Templar as well. We saw Alive was skirting around with those medevacs, threatening to drop into the main base of Guineapig. Guineapig already set up with 4 Zealots and 2 High Templar to cast feedback on those medevacs. So lucky for Alive that he didn't. Alive continues to sacrifice units to try to figure out where is Guineapig's main army, actually dropping a scan and pushing forward. I'm surprised he's getting so aggressive here. Maybe he hasn't realized the upgrade disadvantage, but pushing forward, he's got to land some big EMPs. That's the only option here if he wants to take that out, or begin sniping down the Colossi, but I don't think that's a situation that Guineapig is going to let get set up. And here we go. All of the units getting trapped in the middle for Alive. Force field's getting dropped. Looks like the EMPs did not really hit too much, as the Colossi going to town, getting sniped down by the Vikings. Alive is being very active, trying to run around, but these beefy 3-3 Zealots soaking up so much damage, and Guineapig will not be denied. He's going to chase Alive to the ends of the earth to crush this piddly army. Supplies now 167 to 108.
This is exactly what Guinea Pig wanted, that upgrade advantage, giving him so much utility in that engagement. We saw some great micro by Alive skirting around the middle of the map there, some nice usage of the map features, but didn't, as you said, get off the EMPs that he needed, and with that upgrade disadvantage, it's just too much for him to deal with, and now he only has a planetary to defend his third right now, but of course, there are Archons to be able to kill off the SCVs, there's Immortals to try to help the damage, he's targeting right down. There's the repair, but it's much too late there for Alive. The third goes down. Every single one of the workers goes down with some nice force fields and Archon usage. And it looks like Guinea Pig just going to continue his push forward into Alive's base. It's 177 food against 106. Meanwhile, a drop from Alive in the third is being cleaned up so easily by Templar for feedbacks as well as Zelts. Look at that.
Wow,
the feedbacks get
nice
both the medevacs. Great play by Alive, or excuse me, by Guinea Pig. And it's looking like he'll be able to secure game number 3 here and bring us back to a 2-1.
Absolutely no more free command centers here available for Alive. He's lost his planetary, he's lost his orbital at the natural. Guinea Pig doesn't really even need to continue to attack. I mean, he's got such an advantage, he might as well, but you know, Alive is basically mined out for all intents and purposes. Looks like he's gonna have to lift off his main base or go all in. Choice is up to him, but neither a very comfortable choice for a Terran player to make in this situation.
Not at all. He's trying to move forward with a couple ghosts here. Just such a small army in comparison to Guinea Pigs, though, and still has that upgrade disadvantage. 1-1. There's the GG from Alive, and Guinea Pig has brought us back to 2-1. Thankfully, it wasn't just like a 3-0 victory there for Alive. He's going to have to work a little bit harder for this victory if he wants to still take it. But Chill, do you think this is going to be the start of a comeback? Do you think Guinea Pig can actually take this back 3-2?
Well, you know, we've been talking a lot about the mind games of Game 1 and 2, but Game 3 is interesting to me because I think even though Guinea Pig didn't do anything to put strain, you know, to any mind games to inflict any psychological damage on Alive, I think Alive is going to be thinking, well, I can't let Guinea Pig do whatever he wants into the mid game. I can't be facing a Protoss opponent who has so many options and is chronoing off double forges, or else that's going to happen time and time again. So maybe we'll see a little bit of a different play from Alive in game number 4, but I think the play we saw there from Guinea Pig in game number 3, if he continues to play like that, we could easily see him swing this back.
Yeah, that was so solid. I loved how he consistently kept his sentry spread and just defended those bridges, man. I feel like, you know, a lot of players in that situation would just be kind of, you know, out in an area that's just a little more wide open, forced to use like 6-7 force fields to divide the same forces, where he just got to use like 2-3 force fields, completely segment the army. It was so efficient, and we're going to be moving on to Ohana as our next map. This could actually be really dangerous for Guinea Pig, I feel, because while he will be able to secure a natural very easily, if he tries to move out with his army into the center of the map, it's really wide open, really difficult to actually use force fields and Colossi effectively. I feel like you need to use a little bit more of a mobile gateway army. Charge that Archon going to be much more common, and since there's a lot of empty space around the edges of the map, there's a lot of opportunities for drops to be extremely effective, and there's not as many places you can put like pylons to watch for incoming drops. So, you know, Alive, I feel like if he utilizes drops really well, he might be able to take this. Guinea Pig is going to have to be so on top of his map control.
So I want to continue on the map discussion, but I think we should jump right into the game, get the game going so we can discuss it during the early game.